One of the main streaming trends right now is to have your chat live on screen so that everybody can see it whilst you're streaming. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, one, it can help you as a streamer to be able to see your chat during your stream, but most importantly, it means that during your videos on demand, if you do clip your stream and upload it later as a highlights video or something like that, your viewers on that video on demand can see who was chatting in chat at the time, how busy it was, and what the core subject of the chatter was. It's a pretty helpful feature, and I can understand why it's very, very popular. Let's figure out how to get your live chat on screen on OBS Studio in live time. So, what we're going to have to do is we're going to add a browser source. And to do that, you're going to go to your sources, you're going to go plus, and you're going to go browser. Before I do that, though, I'm actually going to put this window to the side. And you can see I've got my browser open on the right-hand side here. That's because I need to get a URL link for my chat. Now, this method is basically the same for all of the major platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm going to do it for Twitch, but I will try to explain how you do it for YouTube and Facebook as well. It's very, very similar. What I need is the URL link for my chat. And the way I get that on Twitch and on YouTube is by going to my channel. I pause that. I go to chat down here. It will open up my chat on the right-hand side. You can see I've already been doing some checks for what we're about to do. And I go to the settings menu, and I go pop out chat. On YouTube, this is exactly the same. On Facebook, this is exactly the same. On your chat, there will be a little settings icon. You click on that, and you click pop out chat. I'm going to pop out the chat. It's going to do exactly what I asked it to do. It's going to pop out the chat, and it's going to give me a URL, a website URL at the top here. I'm going to copy that URL. I can now close that window, and I'm going to add a browser source to OBS Studio. We're going to add a browser, and up here where it says URL, I'm going to replace that with the URL that we just copied, and I'm going to click OK, and I'll make OBS Studio a little bit bigger, and you can see it has taken that pop-out chat and put it directly onto my screen. At the moment, it looks a little bit funky, so we're going to make some changes to make it look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. First of all, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now, what's wrong with this so far? The first thing is that we've got these cookies at the top here. Unfortunately, there is no way to get rid of these. You cannot interact with the pop-up chat when it's added as a browser source. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold the Alt key, that's A-L-T, and whilst we're holding it, we're going to drag this top square down. And it's going to crop those cookies from the top of the chat. Clever, huh? We're also not going to be sending messages from here, but we'll come to that in a second. What we need to do is we need to make this a little bit thinner and a little bit longer so it fits on the side of our screen. So I'm going to double click on the browser source. I'm going to make it thinner by about, let's make it 300 pixels thin. And we're going to make it 900 pixels tall. And what that's going to do is it's going to turn it into this longer version of the chat box. You can see that we've now got this issue at the top here with the cookies again. So we're just going to hold Alt and drag that down again. And I still don't think this is enough space for chat. So we're going to make it a little bit taller even still. Let's go 1,300 in the height options. And that looks a little bit better to me. All of this space in the middle here is going to be filled with chat. Let's crop the bottom here because we don't need to send any messages. Let's do that. And I can crop the top as well because we don't need that. Let's put it in the top left-hand corner. And now, if I minimize this window again, or I just put it to the side here, and I go to my Twitch chat and I pretend that I'm a viewer going, wow, this is amazing. This is the best stream in the world, blah, 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 blah. It will pop up on my OBS Studio. You see here on the left-hand side, if I maximize OBS Studio again, it's popped up in OBS Studio in my chat, and we are ready to go with chat on screen. Great way of doing it. Really, really easy, really, really helpful. However, a lot of people want transparent chat. And that's a little bit trickier, but really you're not adding too many steps to the entire process. Let's get rid of our browser source now in OBS Studio, or I'm just going to hide it actually, in case we need it later. To hide, by the way, you click this eye next to the source. It will just show it and hide it as you wish. Now, to get the transparent chat on screen, we need to use Streamlabs website. There's a Streamlabs website. Now, some people will be like, oh, we're doing an OBS Studio course. Why are we using Streamlabs? We're not using Streamlabs. The Streamlabs website actually offers you a lot of free widgets, a lot of things that you can put on top of your stream that do not require you to use Streamlabs. So it's actually really helpful for a couple of things that we're going to do in this course. So we're going to go over to the Streamlabs website. Of course, log in with your platform details. You can log in with YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And once you're in, I want you to click on all widgets on the side here. And then you're going to click on Chatbox. Now, on Chatbox, it's basically already set up for you. You can change things like the theme. So I can go clean, I can go boxed. You can see it's changing the way that the chat looks. You can go with a classic Twitch look. I'm going to go with boxed for now. You can change what shows up in the chat, if you want emotes, what colors you want. We're just going to leave it a default for now. You guys can play around with these as and when you wish. And because I'm already logged in, using Twitch, it's already connected to my Twitch account. So all I have to do is copy this widget URL here. So I'm going to copy, again, that widget URL. I'm then going to go to my OBS Studio. I'm going to hide the browser source that we made before. I'm going to make a new browser source. So I'm going to go to Browser. We're going to go Twitch Transparent Chat. I'm going to add the URL right there. I'm going to press OK. And, oh, nothing's appeared. Hold on. What we need to do is we need to start chatting in the Twitch chat. Let's go over to Twitch chat and go, oh my word, that's incredible. I can't spell, but you can see that on OBS Studio it has registered. Let me just send a load of jargon here, and you will see that it's registering every single message from your Twitch chat on your OBS Studio preview. Absolutely incredible. Really, really simple using Streamlabs to get this transparent chat. Now, a couple of things. That's a little bit wide right now. Let's say I want to make it thinner and I want these longer messages like, oh my word, that's incredible, to come on a second line. If I just make this thinner in the browser source size, then it will compress everything for me. So let's go and post a really long message here. And it will appear on 3 separate lines on OBS Studio. So you can use that browser size, width and height to determine how you want to fit in all of your messages on screen. Obviously, I can then resize the source, such as this, and put it anywhere I want on screen. But that is the basics of chat overlay. Whether you want a non-transparent or a transparent chat overlay, your 2 fixes there are pop out chat and get the URL and put it in a browser source, or use Streamlabs, use the chat box widget in Streamlabs to get yourself that transparent chat.